My God, you look stunning today. I'd like to welcome you back to Gratuitous Sets. Here's a quick question for you. This is called a pocket hole jig. But is it just a jig or is it also a fixture? I think generally the term fixture refers to something that holds a part in place, and then a jig guides a tool, like these bushinged holes here, guide this at a specific angle to create a pocket hole. So this part, in that case, would be the jig, and this other part back here would be the fixture. So how common is that? I'm curious if the way I'm using these terms is correct in your mind, because I don't know that there's really a solid answer. Let's take a quick look at a few more examples to figure out where this line is, if we can even determine where that line is. Another example is this dovetail jig, and I swear it said jig on the packaging, so it must be a jig, right? But it's also a fixture too. It holds a workpiece in a specific orientation, and then bits of it guide a router to create dovetails, or dovetail holes. Is one half called a dovetail and the other half is not? It's called something else? I have no idea. Now here's the reason this whole question came up, is that we built this device and called it a jig. And then as I was sitting here bored because I'm repetitively drilling holes, I said to Devin, I said, well, would this be a jig or a fixture? What it does is it holds this piece in this specific orientation so that it can drill a perfectly centered hole, and then I flip it over to a different position, and again, I get another perfectly centered hole in that spot. Clearly a fixture, right? But we called it a jig the whole time. If you could, please let me know if you're in a specific industry, or you call something a jig that somebody else might call a fixture, or you call it a fixture and somebody else might call it a jig. Let me know, and let's try and figure out where that line is. So with that being said, does that make this thing a fixture? And it starts getting really curious after a while. We would like to thank our friends on Patreon who are making these videos possible. We've removed all of our mid-roll ads, and they are funding that for everybody who's watching this video for free. Please consider joining them, make a small contribution, it really helps out. We have some weird stuff in the pipe, and you're gonna be seeing that very soon. So, goodbye from Gratuitous Sets, I'll see you soon.